Welcome to the MumBoss podcast. This is a space for women who have transitioned to growing a business midlife or who are presently transitioning. The catalyst for your change may be motherhood, just like mine. And the vessel for increased flexibility and freedom comes from building your own heart-led business. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to the MumBoss podcast for this particular series dedicated to community building and developing digital products in the forms of courses or memberships where your content can actually be leveraged over time. So this week's episode, I wanted to dive into the main contrasting differences between having a course as an offer inside your business or having a membership. And I really want to explain why I'm a fan of having both. So let's dig into the 5 biggest differences that I have experienced running courses versus running memberships. So the first one is, with a course, if you are running a course, typically has a very clear start line, a very clear start date, and a very clear end line and end date. So you are pretty much bringing in a cohort of people to work through a transformation of some sort together over a specified period of time, whether it is a 3-month program, a 6-month program, or a 12-month program. It's completely up to you. But the difference between the course and the membership is that the course has a start and a finish, whereas a membership is very much ongoing. So the content that you create inside there is something that's produced on a month-by-month basis. That's scary for some people. Even me saying those words out loud, I have to say, feels heavy. It does feel a little heavy to say, having a membership is something that's ongoing, and it means that you have to show up month after month after month after month. And what if I want a break? What if I need a month off? But I will explain to you, hopefully throughout the course of this series of running courses and memberships, why that's not the case at all. As a membership business owner, you do not feel, or you don't have to feel boxed in, or you don't have to feel like you need to be necessarily structured, that a certain type of content has to be created every single month. There's a lot of fluidity and flexibility that can be created if you're intentional from the beginning. And it 100 million% is the freedom focused way to grow a business. 100 million%. So if you feel any kind of resistance around me saying membership content is ongoing versus a course having a start and a finish line, then I invite you to just press pause on that little bit of resistance. I want to share with you that I do get it. I do understand the fear of what it could potentially look like, the unknown, but I will explain over time how it doesn't need to be something that feels restrictive in any way. In fact, it gets to be the complete opposite of that. It gets to be freedom-filled, freedom-focused, getting your time back, all of those things. Anyways, I digress. That was the first big contrasting point between what a course is versus what a membership is. The second big difference between courses and memberships are typically how they are priced. So a course typically is priced higher versus a membership, which is typically, inverted commas, I'm saying typically, is priced lower. You can have higher priced memberships, like if you're running a mastermind or something like that, some kind of premium group program on a rolling basis, then that absolutely can have a higher price point attached to it. But overall, on the large, courses, because they have a specific structure and start and end point, they have a more premium price attached to them versus a membership, which is often seen as a low ticket method for somebody to have accessibility to you and your resources. Okay, the third biggest contrast between the two is, with a course, you are often teaching a specific skill, or you're teaching specific theory, or you're developing a specific transformation that gets to happen within this close container over this specified period of time. Versus in a membership, the cohort of people that you're bringing in there see their growth and development and transformation or learning to be something that's done on an ongoing basis. It's not one and done after 3 months, or it's not one and done after 6 months together. It's something that's constantly needed to be leaned on and improved and worked on. So that is a big difference between the two. And you may be really feeling into your niche and it being something that you want to teach a specific skill to over a specific period of time, and you'll be able to lean into that and go, okay, well, a course is definitely the way I want to go, because the people who I'm working with, it's not going to be ongoing learning that they're going to want from me. They're going to want to be able to do this up level in 12 weeks time. Now, I have to say, in my experience of anything that's worth investing in, whether it's a hobby, whether it is your fitness levels, whether it is learning something new, whether it is leadership development, whether it is a creative, a new creative outlook that you want to get into, anything that's worth investing in typically has requirement to be in a person's life on an ongoing basis. Like, I don't really know of anything that I would just go into for 3 months and then go, okay, one and done, I'm done. I've got everything I need and I'm going to go off about my business now and move forward with that. Like, I'm thinking of any kind of, even when we go to college and I'm thinking of certifications and diplomas and degrees, there's always more to be done, isn't there? There's always more just depth and understanding that gets to be done. And again, a membership space really does fuel the capacity to be able to feed into that over an ongoing basis. Okay, the fourth main contrast between a course and a membership is that a course doesn't necessarily have to have a community aspect. A lot of courses do, but it's not the main focus of it. The community element isn't the main focus of it. Whereas in the membership space, a membership thrives based on its community. Like, I often tell my mentees, people will join your programs, your memberships for the content. So they'll join it because they'll want to learn from you and get access to you. But what will really help people stay inside that container is the people inside there and the connection and the community. So a membership thrives based on community, whereas a course, it's not that necessary to have it there. And the fifth thing that is the biggest contrast between a course and a membership is the adjustment in your head in regards to working with clients and whether you want to be continuously working with new clients or not. So what I mean by this is that in the course space, there is a focus on acquisition of new clients. Because of the nature of the start and the finish line, it does mean that there's a cohort of people coming through, getting to the end of it, and then you having the requirement to bring a new cohort through. So there is a big focus on bringing in new clients, acquiring new clients in order for this course to be delivered. Whereas in the membership space, there isn't so much a focus on the acquisition of new clients as there is the retention of the current clients. So the membership spaces that do really, really well are the ones that people come into and they don't necessarily want to leave 2 or 3 months down the line. There's enough depth and content and connection and resources and support inside there for them to want to stay in there for a longer period of time, whether it's 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, or years. And so that is the primary focus inside a membership, because of its nature of being lower priced, then it kind of flips how it is that you build wealth in your business, and it's not necessarily from the influx of a group of clients coming in over a short-term basis. Instead, it's your clients coming in and staying with you over a longer period of time. It's called the lifetime client value. So how long a member stays in your world, and then what other offerings that you can deliver to them as well while they're actually in your space. So they're the 5 contrasting points that I really wanted to shine a light on today when you are choosing between whether you should run a course or whether you should run a membership. So just to recap over them very, very quickly, course is a start and an end line, membership is ongoing. Course is typically higher priced, membership is typically lower priced. Course usually has a specific theory or skill to teach, whereas a membership is ongoing support over a longer period of time. A course may not have a community aspect, a membership thrives in the community aspect. And a course is more focused on the acquisition of new clients, whereas a membership is more focused on the retention of current clients. Now, which should you have for your business? Well, I am a big fan of having both. I have both inside my own business model. I teach other people how to build both as part of their business model ecosystems. Why? Because a more developed business model ecosystem has layers of offerings for people at different stages who are coming into your world. And you have different levels of clients or customers coming into your world. And those people, because of the different life experiences that they're coming to you with, or the different results that it is that they're looking for, they are going to require more or less support from you. And a load of different things will play into that. Like for your clients, a lot of them are going to be saying, do I have the time to be able to work with this person? Do I have the money to be able to afford this person? Is this going to get me the desired results that I need? And so you've got these people coming into your space who are asking themselves all these kinds of questions, and they're trying to figure out if you are the right person for them. So I know from experience that the people who are willing to invest more in themselves are often the people who will get the best results. Why? Because when you pay money, you pay attention. As well as that, when you are investing in someone, there is an energetic exchange that happens almost instantaneously, whereby you start taking radical responsibility for doing the things that are worth more revenue inside your business. There is an activation switch that typically happens for people who invest in higher levels inside your business. So if you are looking to draw in clients who are going to get the very best results from you, they're likely to be the people who are going to work with you closely, the closest that you possibly can work with somebody, and they're likely to pay the most amount of money. But as you may know, depending on how long you've been running your business, it can be challenging to get somebody to invest in you from the offset, especially when they haven't really been exposed to your work over a long period of time before. And so what I really love to help my clients curate is an entire ecosystem that funnels different people who are at different stages through your business offerings, and that you essentially have layers of offerings that speak to them at the different levels that they're at. So I thought it might be helpful for you to hear what my ascension model is. My ascension model is how I have created my business model, and how it works through those different layers of offerings for different people who are at different stages, who desire different results. So the ascension model that I work with, which is very much a freedom-focused business model that does not drain your time, and it pays you appropriately, is triangular in shape. So if you imagine a triangle in your head, and at the bottom of the triangle is where I give out the most of my free intentional content. So intentional content that's created via social media, intentional content that's created via my podcast that you're listening to right now, intentional content that's created via email marketing. And you might also have a blog or something like that. So a place where you create free content to create awareness of your brand, of you, of your message, who it is you help, how it is you help them, for free. Then as I work up through my ascension model in this triangular shape, the next step up from my free content is my low ticket, high accessibility membership, community membership. So it's low in price so that it affords a lot of people the opportunity to come into my space to experience my coaching and mentoring through a group capacity, through a structured sense of the different deliverables that I create on a monthly basis. And it's a low ticket space, so more people can get access to it, and it's a place for people to stay over a longer period of time so that they build trust and confidence in me as a business owner and how it is that I can support people until it's a case that they're ready to move into other offerings inside my business. And so as I work my way up this triangular ascension model, after my memberships, I might have things like events. So I run in-person events a few times in a year, and my events are typically exclusive for people inside my membership spaces. So it's another space for those people to be able to come to connect with in more depth, in person, with both me and all of the other people inside the community. Gorgeous, gorgeous space for us to be able to do that together. Then imagine ourselves back with our triangle again. So we've had our free content at the bottom. We've got the lower ticket membership next. We've got events happening next. Above this now, I'll have my course spaces. So I offer a number of different courses inside my business. They're medium priced in terms of being able to jump in. They're not going to be for the person who has never probably experienced my coaching and mentoring before. They might be sitting back and asking themselves, is this an investment I'm willing to make in my business? But for anyone who wants to grow a community, who wants to build a digital business ecosystem that's founded on community, then my course, the Community Creator Club, is an absolute no-brainer for those people, especially the people who've been inside my lower tier membership for a long period of time, because they've built trust and confidence in me as a person who delivers results. And so then back to the triangular ascension model that I run my business off, and that I love to support other people to be able to grow their own ascension models that are in alignment with what it is that they're looking for. At the top peak of this triangle is the one-to-one work that I do with people. And so this is the highest price point inside my business, because people are getting access to you. They're getting direct access to your eyes on their work, whatever your niche might be. They're the people who are likely to get the best results because they're working with you so closely. They're going to be getting that extra accountability. They're going to be getting that extra expert guidance. They're going to be getting that extra mentorship. They're going to be getting that person in their back pocket, checking in with them, realigning them, working on their mindset, working on their energetics, working on all of the stuff. Because when you're working one-to-one with somebody, you typically end up, really investing yourself in their success as well. And so with that ascension model in place, that triangular model in place, you can see how it creates a beautiful funnel that gives people access at a lower price point and then provides them with opportunities of other offers inside your ecosystem that they can step into when it's a time that they feel ready to. And some people, want to just jump in now. I personally am the sort of person that I know exactly what it is that I'm looking for. And if somebody says it in the right way, has communicated their message very specifically, and they're speaking to my heart and soul, I am a quick action taker. I'm like, I'm in there. Just sign me up, send me the details, and I'm in. But I know that that's a personality trait of mine. I'm just compelled, and I can be intuitively led to being drawn to something that I know it is that I need next to my business. And I am a big, big believer in being fed from lots of different pools of information, lots of different people. I've had so many different mentors over the last number of years. And I think that's really good because I get to pull from different strengths from different people rather than relying on one person to deliver all of the goods in all of the areas. I feel like that's a little bit unrealistic to expect that from anybody. So the essence of what I've built up has been pulled from lots of different places all around the world, from Canada, from America, from the UK, from Australia. So all around the world, different people have fed into the business model that I've created, the freedom-filled business model that I've created. And so, it's developed this incredible ascension model in this triangular shape that, it works both ways. It works for people who are coming in because they get the time to access my resources and mentorship over a longer period of time so that they can figure out for themselves, oh yes, I'm ready to take another step here and up level this area in my business. And it works for me because of the specific membership community space that I founded my business on. It doesn't require your time traded for your income. And so that just works beautifully for people getting to know me in a time frame that suits them, and me not feeling like I'm giving too much of myself at an inappropriately priced level, if that makes sense. So, like I said, I am a fan of having both inside your business ecosystem, memberships and courses. So how can you do this in a beautifully curated way whereby you're not working longer or harder to have both? Well, I'm going to share a little secret with you because this is how I've been able to grow my business and how I'm supporting people inside the Community Creator Club to grow their business too. And that is by focusing on a membership first. Okay, so I'm going to go through 5 reasons why I think growing a membership first is the very smartest way that you can go about creating a business ecosystem that funnels people through it in a very thoughtfully curated way. Number 1, if you're growing a membership first, and a membership is an infinitely scalable product, okay? That means that no matter whether there is 1 person in there, 10 people in there, 100 people in there, or 1,000 people in there, what is required from you to do does not change, okay? You're unlikely able to create that inside a course experience. A membership has the capacity to bring in 1 person or 1,000 people. And because of the way you have it structured, how I teach people how to intentionally design their membership spaces, it means that nothing else is required from you, no matter how many people are inside there. The second reason why I love to help people focus on growing memberships first is because of the digital aspect of it and the fact that you get global access. So there's a lot of people who get really jaded in the online space, particularly when they're spending a lot of time, effort and energy creating content for social media, and that's their only way of creating awareness. Okay, side note here, make sure social media isn't your only way for creating awareness. At the very least, grow your email list so you've got social media and email. At the very least, make sure that that's what you're doing. But I know from experience of working with lots of female founders out there that getting jaded with the social media free content creation space is something that comes up a lot. And so what I see people doing regularly is pulling back and saying, you know what, this is too hard. I'm not getting anywhere. It's an overcrowded space. It's too noisy. Nobody can hear me. And they go back into the in-person sphere. And so they'll might print out flyers or print out business cards and start going to local meetings and maybe putting flyers up in local libraries and things like that, and redirecting their attention to their locality. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your intention, if that's something that you desire to have an in-person business and working with people, in your locality. If that's something you desire, then amazing, go with that. But if that is not something you desire, if that is a fallback option which you found yourself falling into because the online content creation space has been difficult, then I would just encourage you to stay in check with what your actual goals are that you're really working towards. And if an online business is really what you want to create, then just be prepared to give some of the necessary time into learning how to make better content, and give the necessary time required to create more of it, or consider the necessary investment in creating ads. If you don't want to do it all organically, if you find that so difficult, maybe you want to go down the ads route, and that requires an investment there. But at least you're staying in alignment with what it is that you want to create down the line. And for me, the digital business, the online business, was all that I wanted, because I wanted to be able to be in my home, open my laptop, go to work, be on a call for however long, then close my laptop and be able to walk to the kitchen and boil the kettle. Okay, so I have no interest in sitting in my car and driving around the country to go to meetings with people face to face. That's just not going to light me up. I love in-person connection, and I love to do that inside my business at different times in the year. But on an ongoing basis, if you ask me how I want to be running my business every single day, every single week, then the online space is just what is the sweet spot for me, because I get to be at home to do it, or I get to be traveling on my holidays and still be able to check in and do my hour-long calls while I'm away during the summer holidays and things like that. So check in with yourself in regards to what it is that you want to grow, and then don't sidestep it just because things have gotten hard. Things are going to continuously get hard inside your business. Like, that is just an inevitable. It's not an easy thing to do. So choose your heart and make sure it's in alignment with the thing that you actually want to build. But I love the membership space because it is the digital business and it gives you global access. You're not just focused in on your local community and things like that. You get to go in your country, you get to go outside of your country, you get to go far overseas. And that's certainly been true for me inside my membership spaces, where I have people from all over the world, all over Europe, UK, America, Australia, feed into my business. So I love that. The membership as well, if you were to focus on a membership first, it gives you time freedom. And I spoke into this a little bit at the start of this episode today when I was talking about that ongoing nature of content inside a membership space and how that felt a bit restrictive to me, even saying those words. And it did feel restrictive to me saying those words, but that's not how I actually feel inside my membership space. And so if you are to consider creating a membership space, what you really want to be thinking about doing is, what kind of calls can you create inside your membership business that absolutely light you up, that you really enjoy being in there for that type of content, whether it is a discussion, whether it is bringing in guest experts, whether it is accountability calls, whether it is teaching classes. Like, what are the deliverables that you personally love the idea of investing your time in? And I just feel incredibly lucky that when I started my membership over 3 years ago now, I really spent time thinking about what my members were going to get the most results out of and what I would get the most joy from delivering. And if there was ever anything that my members would get lots of results out of, but I didn't enjoy giving, then I just put that over in the car park. I pressed pause on it and I didn't roll with it until everything was a match for they're getting great results and I'm loving what I'm doing. And so it has meant that the model of the membership, when I'm going into it, it's only 3 times in the month where you're showing up for hour calls. So that's in your entire month, 3 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours if you want to put in little admin time either side of it. So there's ample time freedom outside of those calls for you to be working in other programs in your business or working on your business, which I spend a lot of time doing, working on my business. I absolutely love designing stuff. I love creating stuff. I love creating presentations. I love creating frameworks. I love creating podcasts. You know, there's loads of stuff that I do that's on my business that's not necessarily in it. And so the membership model, if you focus on that first, provides you with ample time freedom to be able to put your energy and thoughts into other things and not feeling like, oh my God, I've got no time because I'm showing up for all of this client work. You're not. It's an infinitely scalable product. You're bringing a lot of people into the same space and you're showing up 3, maybe 4 times a month, maybe. So I've got some clients who are showing up 2 times in the month. Very much depends on what your niche is, what your people need, and what you want to do. But I do want you to know that you get to be very intentional with it. The 4th reason for focusing on growing a membership first is about the flexibility. I kind of just talked into that really, the flexibility in the design and the structure of it. But I did just very recently work with one of my clients who felt she's planning on launching a membership and she felt like she didn't want to say that she was going to be there on a certain date in 6 months' time because she has other stuff going on in her life. And she's like, what if things change? I don't want to say these dates for the next 6 months to give people these dates because I feel like I'm going to have to follow through. It's going to be unprofessional of me if I don't see through those dates. And so we were able to co-create together a very flexible structure whereby her people inside her membership space would be given a month's notice in regards to what dates to save in their diary in the coming month. But no longer than that. And, you know, just check in with yourself in terms of what stories you might be telling yourself are required of you inside your business, because nobody is putting that stuff on you. It's likely just being fed to you from what you think is done, or you're looking out there, you're looking what other people are doing and you're thinking that's the right thing, but there's no right thing, only the thing that gets to come through you. You get to be the curator, the creator of the right thing. And what everybody else is doing isn't necessarily going to be the right thing for you, because you have to look at your own life. You have to look at your own responsibilities. You have to look at how you want to design the hours that you spend working in your business every single day. So nobody else can tell you what's right or wrong for that. You get to be the creator of it, and then you get to lead appropriately. You get to inform your people how this is going to be rolled out for them. And if it doesn't suit them, then that's okay. They're absolutely under no obligation to stay there. They can find something else out there. It's just not going to be your program. And God, that just feels like the most abundant place to be, and to say, I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and you know, this is just how I'm running it here. If you want to go somewhere else, that's no problem. I totally understand, but this is how I do things. And you know, if they want to be in your space and they want to learn from you and they want to be exposed to your energy and your vitality and all of the stuff that you can bring to the table, they're going to hang around. The right people are going to hang around and the wrong people won't. And that's exactly what you want. Okay, and the 5th reason why I think focusing on a membership first is a really smart way to go about your business is because you get to monetize your membership before you make it. So, you know, this is something that a lot of people get stuck on when they're creating programs, coaching programs, or courses. They're like, I feel like I have to get all the content together. I have to work through the framework and the model that it is that I'm going to be teaching, and get, you know, maybe get some resources pulled together, some videos created. And so you can get stuck in this hole of creating all of the stuff before you actually go and sell it. And I hate that. I really hate that. I feel like so many people have been let down by that because they have spent a huge amount of time creating incredible work without actually validating whether it's what people desire or not, or, really cracking down on your messaging and marketing so that you're able to communicate it appropriately and effectively with people. So I love the membership model because you get to monetize it with your people inside there. And that means that you don't need to go and have all of the content created to initially launch your membership. You can launch your membership at a slightly reduced price of what it normally is. And those people who are coming in are in full awareness that you're just getting going and that the content isn't inside there right now, but you are going to be creating it with them informing you inside your community space. So they actually get, not only do they get a lower price point, which is amazing, but they get to be the founding members of something really special that's being created, and they get to inform your expertise directed at them. So they get to say, this is what I'd love you to do a masterclass on. And so you can just go back and that can be the thing that you teach people, literally by them telling you what it is that they want. And so what you will find, this is my favorite piece, and it's something that I have built in my own businesses, and it's something that I teach others to do inside the Community Creator Club all the time. Because if you focus on a membership model first and you become exceptionally intentional with the type of content that you create, what you will find yourself with 6 months down the line or 12 months down the line is how can I say this? A program of core content inside there that is exceptionally valuable, that has a starting point and an ending point of some way, shape or form because of what you've been teaching or what you've been growing inside your membership space, so that 6 months, 12 months down the line, you're able to just pluck that up and out of your membership space, and guess what you have? Yes, that's right. You have a course. So you now have an ecosystem built up with both a membership and a course inside there, and you didn't have to do any additional work in order to make that happen. And you got to monetize it. You got to make money throughout the time while you're developing those things. So your ecosystem is expanding in a very organic, very natural way. It's expanding with what people in your world are telling you specifically that they want, which is very validating for creating content in the first place, that you're like, this is exactly what they've asked for, so I know I'm providing something that's needed. And throughout the entirety of this time, you are collecting the most invaluable marketing exposure you can ever possibly collect, which is customer testimonials and case studies of people who are inside your membership space over a longer period of time, and what it is that the results that they're acquiring over time. So I hope you've enjoyed this juicy episode in regards to whether you should have a course or a membership inside your business ecosystem, or whether you can do like me and my clients have done and are doing, which is have both. If you have yet to grab yourself the free resource and the free toolkit for those who are looking to build a community, I'm going to drop it in the show notes here again. It is filled up with the most thoughtful questions you need to ask yourself ahead of growing a community, and marketing prompts that you can then use in your social media spaces or your email marketing places, so that you can promote that beautiful community to your prospective members. I'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts on this episode. Hit me up, hello@themumboss.com, or pop over to Instagram, where you can find me in my community space at the MumBoss Network. Thanks for joining us today, and I'll see you next week.